Hi everybody, I'm Joey and I'm here to show you 3 really cute cards to make for Easter. Well, it's an Easter stamp set, but it's called Excellent Eggs is what it's called. But it does so much more than just Easter, so I'm excited to share it with you today. Hello, if you're new to me, my name is Joey Hartman. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm a full-time Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I love sharing, I love creating and sharing on both Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching a recording of the Facebook Live, so it's going to be chatty. So we chat and we visit, and I show how to make the cards, etc. So hopefully that's what you're here for. If not, blessings. No worries, I completely understand when you just want to watch people just making the video and the projects and not visiting. That's great. I know I'm not for everybody. So those of you that are here for me and you're ready for that, then I'm really happy you're here. I'm going to, first of all, get myself pulled up on my iPad here, and then I can see what you're seeing, so I'm sure that I'm in the view of my camera so you can see everything I'm doing, and that's going. So, and then the other thing I need to do is I've got my laptop here, so I'm going to get my laptop pulled up too, because that's where I see your comments. Hi Arlene, I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late today. It was just been quite the morning. I may or may not share it as we go along. Just if there's time, I will, but otherwise we'll just get stamping. Okay, here we go. I'm going to click a toolbar, and you're going to go upside down. Hang on here. I'm looking at my phone. There's the toolbar, and then I'll go, oops, boy, that's blurry. I'll go upside down, and then you'll be right side up when you're looking at my workspace. Sometimes it takes a minute or two to get everything adjusted. I see I need to get this light out of the way. I'll see if that makes it better. A little bit better. And then this one, we need more light. So I'm bringing in a bar light. I see that it's kind of showing in the view. So I'm going to back it up just a touch so it doesn't glare. There you go. That's pretty good. I think we're going to go with that. So, all right, let's get going. I'm going to show you today some cards made with this stamp set and these dies. It's called Excellent Eggs. If you have a Stampin' Up! Catalog, mini catalog, it's on page 27. And it's one of the 2 Easter sets that we have. And I'll show you the dies. So these are the dies that go along with it. There's some really big egg dies, which is really fun. I'm going to show you a class I created with those. But today we're going to make cards. Oh, I see I don't have these mounted yet. It's been just a really crazy couple of days. Just going to grab a block. And hang on, I have to actually move over to a box. I'm real close. But I had my 2 largest blocks mounted for another class I'm designing, and I need those for this class. But it's been kind of a crazy morning. I don't set an alarm because we have a puppy. He's probably about 16 weeks by now, and he usually wakes me up, and he did wake me up at 7, so that was great. Okay, so actually I don't need that for this card. I need the Happy Easter. The first one we're going to make is going to be a Happy Easter, and the other 2 are just going to be kind of thinking of you spring cards. Anyway, he woke me up at 7. I took him out. He did his duty. And then we came in, and I was so tired. I was just out like a light when he woke me up. And so right now I'm lining up my stamp. I like to line it up on my glass mat, or if you have grid paper. It helps me kind of make sure I'm squared away with my greetings. So we're going to do that. And then that's the only stamp we need for this. We do need Highland Heather ink. So I've got that pulled out. I'm ready for that. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut out, you're going to using that large egg die, we're going to cut out sorry, lost my train of thought, thinking about too many things. We're going to cut it out of a frame that is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is the largest of the 3 egg dies. So we're actually just going to make a window with this. I'm going to line it up at the top of my cardstock. I'm trying to make sure there's kind of an even border all the way around, just for, you know, just for design's sake. Then I'm gonna grab, that's not right, hang on. I have both my plates on top of each other, which doesn't work very well. So let's try and get this lined up again. Hopefully that's straight on the card. We're gonna go with it. Since I'm lining it up from the side, for some reason it seems to look different than when I'm lining it up the other way. Hi, Mary Ellen from sunny Montana. Oh, how nice to have you here. It is sunny here too. It is going to be, yesterday it was almost 60. So we are getting some spring, which is so nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and emboss this little frame with one of the embossing folders. Well, I think it's the only one actually that you can get free with a $100 order now that it's celebration. So it's part of this combo. So it comes like this with the softly sophisticated stamps and then this embossing folder. I'll hold it up so maybe you can see the pattern a little bit better, because it is kind of hard to see the pattern on the video. So on my sample card, I did not emboss it, and when I looked at it, I thought, I think we need something more, a little more oomph, you know, a little more zhuzh. So let me bring my machine back, and then the plates. For the plates, you need number 1, and then let's grab the embossing folder. You're going to put your cardstock. I know I'm really close to the camera. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can show you. So this, I'm lining up the cardstock where there's a line on the embossing folder, which helps you line it up to keep it straight. Trying to make sure that is straight. So can you see the line right here? That's what I was lining up. And then you put your embossing folder with the folded end through first. You put that between your plates. So then you put plate number 4 for embossing, 3D embossing folders. This is a 3D embossing folder. And if you don't know what celebration is, it's Stampin' Up! Offers free products this time of year with your purchase of at least $50 or more. If you spend $100, you can get this bundle. Or there's other options too for a $100 purchase. Okay, so we're going to go with that. I'm just hoping it doesn't make my card too busy. We'll see what we think when we get going. All right, we've got some other things to punch and die cut here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make the body of the card, and then we'll have that part done. This is a piece of fresh freesia cardstock. It is 8.5 by 4.25. What am I want to say? 5.5 by 8.5. Sorry about that. And it's scored up 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead, and this is the way this is going to go, but we're going to put a little piece of designer paper behind it, although that's not the one, that's the one. This is the Light and Airy designer paper. That's also free with a $50 order. I'm going to line this up like so. Let's go ahead and get some adhesive on this piece. I think I'll put my adhesive right around the edges. Anyway, I was starting to tell you I'll probably be fragmented with this story. I mean, the story will be in fragments, rather. I went back to bed to lay down for a while. I was so tired. Normally, I wake up at 7 and I'm up and going and working, but I just was really conked out when our puppy woke me up. And I kind of want this bird's face to show if I can possibly get it to show. I guess not. We'll have to have this one We've got a big flower branch, so that's going to be good. So this is how our card's going to go this way. Anyway, I was sound asleep. I'm usually up at that early, not a problem. Went back to bed, put our puppy back in his crate. He's very good in his crate. He's very content in his crate, and he went back to sleep, and I went back to sleep. The next thing I knew, my phone was ringing. Someone was calling me and woke me up. And it was a person, a swap hostess. So as demonstrators, we can participate in swaps, card swaps. It's like a Christmas cookie swap. I'm punching out, with the bow punch, I'm punching out some soft seafoam leaves for this card. I'm also going to punch out of the designer paper, Flight and Airy, that's what it's called. I'm not sure that's what I said. I'm going to punch some flowers out for this card. Anyway, we can participate in swaps, and then we make so many cards. This one was for 16, so I made 16 cards all the same, and then I sent them to her, and then she swaps them out with other demonstrators, and then I get 16 cards back that are, well, rather 15, because she keeps one, but 15 cards back that are all different designs of the new products. So we have some brand new products coming out. Oops, where's my flower? What'd I do, kids? Where is it? Oh gosh, couldn't see it. So she called to say that my swap cards had not arrived, and she looked at the tracking, and it showed that it had been all over the Midwest, like South Dakota, back to Indiana, back to South Dakota, and she said she didn't have them. So I said, all right, I'll call. So I called the post office, got this really nice lady, so nice. Okay, so there I was taking my take your pick tool, and I'm just pressing down, not too hard, because this is pattern paper rather than cardstock, although it looks like I need a little more. And it just naturally brings up your petals and gives it a little bit more dimension. So she looked it up. She said all those tracking numbers that showed it went to different towns was not accurate. The only place it had been scanned was in Omaha and Cincinnati, and it showed that it was in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati is where it goes to be distributed to my swap hostess that's doing all this. I'm taking a Stampin' Dimensional, putting it in the center of my flower, and then just kind of arranging my petals so it's kind of alternating between the other petals. And for this one, yeah, I think I will go ahead and use another dimensional on this, but we'll go with the mini dimensional. Anyway, so the lady at the post office said, well, it is in Indianapolis. It should be going out for delivery tomorrow or the next day. So, and there's a deadline for our swap cards. I think it's actually tomorrow as opposed to the next day. And so, and if they're not there, they don't get swapped out, and she's just going to send them back to me, which is very frustrating. I understand it. I'm not upset with her at all. I'm just upset that my cards might not get there. Anyway, that was my morning. And then last night, I'm really blithering on like you and I are out for coffee. That's how I'm kind of feeling this morning. So I'm going to put mini glue dots on the back of this soft seafoam branch. Actually, I'm kind of just, I know you probably can't see that. I'm kind of rolling it over. And then I'll do the same for, well, this one I'm going to actually put the little tiny branch, so they're going to kind of cross over like that. So I'm going to grab the mini glue dots. Hi, Diane. Thanks for joining today. I'm going to go ahead and put this little guy on this one. So they're kind of hooked together. I want that to show more, so I'm gonna try and move it over just a little bit. There we go. I like that better. Then we'll put a mini glue dot on the what's going to be the front of this, and then for this I'm going to lift it off with my tool. Anyway, the sad story is my swap cards may or may not get there on time to be swapped out, which is really upsetting because I rushed to get them done and got them to the post office in way good enough time to get to her. Sent a priority mail, and I'm just forming my little flower here. And then this is going to go on our card like this, but first I have to do the greeting. So we have to go ahead and get back to my die cutting machine, and I'm going to grab a scrap of white paper and the die. And let's go ahead and stamp it first, since it's not die cut yet anyway. Let's just go ahead. For this, I did use Highland Heather for this, not instead of Fresh Freesia. It's just a little bit darker, and I think it shows up better on the card. The Fresh Freesia greeting kind of just didn't show up as well, so I changed to Highland Heather for this. So anyway, that was my morning. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Yes, Kathy, that I think, and the lady at the USPS that I talked to, she said that too. She said, well, the holiday might have made the difference, but I mailed it over a week ago. Oh my gosh. You know, and the lady at the post office said, she said the only way to make this better for the next time is to use Priority Express. But that is so expensive, you guys. I mean, it's already like $9 or $10, no, it's over $10 for postage to send the swaps, and then $10 for her to send them back to me. So I don't know. I've never had this happen. It's very frustrating. I guess if they don't get there, they don't get there. If that's the worst thing that happens in my life this week, that's still probably pretty good. Okay, we're going to run this through with these are the Stylish Shapes dies that I'm using. The Stylish Shapes dies have labels like this. They have circles and they have squares. So they're really, really a handy set of dies to have in your arsenal. This is them real quick, the Stylish Shapes dies, just so you know what they look like. You get a lot of dies in this set of dies. So I use them all the time. Okay, that's all. Is that all the die cutting? No, sorry, we need to die cut one more thing. Normally I have this all done for my Facebook Lives. But as you could hear my morning, and honestly, I always do this preparation the day before. Almost always. Very rarely on the day itself. But yesterday, it was a really long day. I was really tired. My helper came to help me prep a class. And probably for the first time in I don't know how many months, I thought, I'll prep my Facebook Live in the morning instead of tonight, so that I can really rest and take a break. And that's what I did. I rested well. As you heard me say earlier, I slept really well. I slept hard. And I haven't done that for a long time, so I think it's good I did rest, but my projects aren't as prepped today as they usually are. So if you like watching from scratch, then you're going to see a lot more of that today than you usually see from me. So that's maybe a good thing. Then we want to make sure we clean our stamps right away with our chamois. This one looks really dirty. It isn't. It's clean. But it absorbs the ink. That's why it's dark like that. And that's why it works so well. So this beautiful egg die, I just love this die. I used it on so many of my Easter projects this year. So I used there's a, okay, Joey, use your words. There's a group of shimmer papers called the three colored, what's it called? Yeah, that's it. 3-color shimmer paper. We're just going to get this guy maybe tucked in here. So I'm going to kind of be careful where I put my dimensionals because I want to tuck in that little Easter egg right there. What was I talking about? Let's go ahead and tuck this in here. Well, hopefully I'll remember what I was talking about. Let's get this settled in here. 3-color glimmer paper. I remember talking to you about that, but I was talking to you about something else. So we're going to kind of tuck this little egg in back here. I'm going to use both dimensionals, and at the bottom of this, I'm going to put some mini glue dots, or maybe just one. But let's get out the mini glue dots again. This card, I was thinking about Easter and Easter celebrations, and I often think when it comes to Easter of a photo of my mother and me. She had made our Easter dresses. I must have been, I don't know, not very old, maybe five, maybe 6. We're going to kind of place this. I'm going to kind of see how I want this to go. I think that's going to be pretty good right there. And I had a hat. I remember the hat. And it was a white hat with blue ribbon for a trim, like a sailor hat. And the hat had a little bouquet of tiny flowers, just tiny little flowers on the ribbon, on the rim of the hat. And let me see what I want. If I want dimensionals here or glue dots. I think we're going to go with mini glue dots for this because I popped up all the petals of the flowers, so we're going to use mini glue dots so this doesn't get too bulky for mailing. Anyway, that little bouquet of flowers had, you know, tiny little, lots of different pretty little pastel flowers and little stamens, pretty little stamens that popped out of the flowers. They were silk flowers. And I remember how much I loved that hat. And so when I made these flowers, I was thinking of those on my Easter hat with my dress that matched my mother's. She made both of our dresses to match. I don't know if I said that. Trying to get the Easter to show without getting my leaves out here too far. Let's try that. Oh, I think that's actually going to go pretty good. So there's that card, and we need some gems. So for the gems, for this card, I used the purple gems, purple shimmer. What are they called? Purple fine shimmer gems. These are new in the mini catalog, and they're just so pretty. And I want the purple ones. So there's 3 colors. I think this is Berry Burst, Highland Heather, and or Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather, I think. We'll go ahead and use these guys. Anyway, that was my Easter memory. Take one of these. And it kind of was the inspiration for this card. I'm going to kind of group my gems. And then this one will go right in the center like so. And there's our pretty little Easter card. What do you think? I thought it had to be purple or pink. Oh, thanks, Kathy. I do love these colors. I really like this paper, and surprisingly, it's still available for celebration, so it would be free with the $50 purchase. It's called Flight, like F like birds fly, Flight, and Airy. So speaking of that, if you put in an order of $40 this week or more using this host code, you'll get the cards I'm making today. You'll get 2 each of these cards. All the supplies for them. You will need the dies that I'm using that are in the bundle. So if you have the bundle, that's perfect. You can make them just as I've made them. Or if you don't have the bundle, you can substitute with what you have, but if you want them to look like mine, you will need the dies and the stamps to make your cards. Okay, so let's go on to, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Arlene. Let's go on to using these dies, these egg dies, and make a card that really features them. So let me grab what we need for that first. We need to do some die cutting, so let me grab my die cutting machine. I'll put that out of the way. I'll bring it back at the end so you can see it again. We're gonna die cut one of the eggs. Get some scraps of paper out here. Let's see, we need this, and we need this. And then the 2 dies we need are, we need one of the egg dies. This will be the medium of the egg dies. Let's see that. And there is direction on this paper. The flowers go up and down, so I want to make sure I've got my die going up and down. And then we've got a little zigzag piece here. We're going to put that on our egg. So we're going to go ahead and die cut those. Like so. So, what are you guys, what do you do for Easter? Do you have little ones where you're doing egg hunts in your families with either your children or your grandchildren? My family, well, my brother and his family, my only brother, they're in Colorado, so we usually don't see them for Easter. Steve's family is here. My husband Steve, his family's close. They're all within about 20 miles. And we get together for most holidays, but we don't have anything planned for Easter. We usually don't get together for Easter. So sometimes what Steve and I do is go to, we have a really beautiful, sort of high-end, not really high-end, but kind of upbeat restaurant nearby that we really like. They have great service and great food. And they do Easter buffet. They do Mother's Day buffet, Christmas buffet, Thanksgiving, and they do an Easter buffet. So I'm guessing that's what we'll do for Easter. I don't think we're going to see, I know we're not going to have a big family get together. I'm kind of losing my train of thought. We need to die cut one more thing before that. So let me bring this out, bring this back, and then we're going to use this die. This set of dies, I know I'm really close here, but this set of dies is called Radiating Stitches dies. We're going to use this big one. It is an online exclusive, so if you're looking for it in the catalog, you won't find it. It's online. Let me grab this card. Now this cuts out the frame. It doesn't cut out anything in the middle. So let me get this pulled back a little bit here. And we'll get this cut here like so. It's a little bit of a push because it's a thick die. Pulled through. And that's going to be the background for our card here today. This one, at least. Let's go with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and build our card now. This card is basic white thick is the card base. Sorry, I'm distracted. My puppy's fussing. I Didn't take, since I was running late today, I didn't take the time to take him out right before I went on, but he'd been out very recently, so I thought he'll be okay. And if I put him in his crate, he probably wouldn't be fussing, but he's in his pen, and he's kind of like, I want to be out with you where you are. So hopefully you can't hear him fussing and it's not disturbing your view of what we're doing. Okay, now I've got a piece of vellum here, and I have already die cut one egg. Again, I'm still using that Flight and Airy paper that you can get free. Let's go ahead. I'm going to run a tape runner just down the middle of this. Now with vellum, you have to be kind of careful because the adhesive will show. This piece of vellum is, what is it? Oh, I don't have it on the back. So this piece of vellum is 3 by, I think, 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4. So that's the size of it. Now let's assemble our 2 eggs. We're going to put this zigzag on them. And what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to put mini glue dots. If you wanted it to have stickers be sticky, you would just use your self-adhesive sheets that we have in the annual catalog. And if you're watching and you don't know what any of this stuff is, but you'd like to know, let me know. I'll send you a catalog so you have one. I'm gonna, the zigzag is a little bit longer than this. Let's go ahead and do this one too. But I thought this paper was so pretty. I used it, I think I used it last week too. It's my favorite paper of the free papers. But there's lots of good papers if you already have this one or you're not really into sweet little flowers. Or there's stamp sets available. There's a lot available still for celebration free gifts with your order. And if you put in a $50 order, you'll also get all my cards, 2 of each of these, and you'll also get an embellishment. So every $50 order, I include an embellishment in your card supplies. So I'm going to just trim this. I put the mini glue dot pretty close to this end so that it would stick. Oh, thanks for sharing, Kathy. That's so nice. Arlene, you like this DSP? It's just so pretty. All right, so we're just going to arrange our eggs on this little background piece. This one I'm going to put flat with my adhesive. I'm going to kind of just put this up in the corner. We're kind of going to build a little scene here. And this one I am going to pop up, so we'll get dimensionals out here. Now the glitter paper I used is from that 3-color glimmer paper that the purple egg came from. They're all in the same pack of paper. So you get the petal pink, the pretty peacock, and you get the Highland Heather that we used in the first egg. Now for this card, I'm going to go ahead and use a punch. We have a bunny punch. It's in the annual catalog. This cute little guy, he was in the spring catalog last year. He was new to that catalog. They could not keep this punch in stock. I don't know how many times it sold out. At least 2, if not 3 times. So I'm going to use him today, just plain punched out of petal pink cardstock. And then I'm going to grab my pretty peacock ink, and we have to go back and get my stamp mounted because I didn't get that done ahead of time. That's okay. It'll work okay. I'm going to get my stamp down here on my glass mat. Now this glass mat is something special too, and it's only available right now to people that join Stampin' Up! During celebration. So you can get that. It's a $60 value. It comes with that. The glass mat, it comes with this, and it comes with a cleaning cloth. All 3 of these things, it's called the Glass Mat Studio. And you get all that for your $99 of any product. You get $125 worth of product, and you only spend $99 plus tax. There's no shipping on it. And if you're interested, I'd love for you to join my team. We have a very active group of fun people, and most are hobby demonstrators. Some are business demonstrators. But everybody's welcome. You know, I should have stamped this first and then punched it, but let's do it the hard way. Oh, it's good. Okay. Sometimes with rubber stamps, you can't exactly see where they're going to stamp, but we did good on that one. You must all been holding your breath. I was holding my breath, let's put it that way. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just stick on this sweet little bunny down here. And he's just going to be the greeting on our card. I kind of want him to sit on the egg. I don't really like, okay, is this weird? I don't really like objects just floating in the air. I like him to be touching or grounded by one of the other elements on the card. So I'm going to kind of put his little butt over here. I don't want to really cover up my shimmery paper. Okay, so there's that, my friends, and then we're going to grab some dots that I haven't used very much of. These are in the new mini catalog. They are called Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock Foiled Gems. So I got these out because I thought the colors went well. And let's see what we're going to do here. Let's grab the, I don't see my piercing tool. Well, let's just grab a scissors. Let's do, let's see. Well, might have to help. So do we do the green ones? I'm not going to stick them down, I'm just placing them. Or should we do the pink ones, the pale pink? Since we have pale pink paper. What are you thinking? Any input from you guys? Petal Pink or Pretty Peacock? I think for sure I'm going to give him a Pretty Peacock eye. So let's do that. So he has eyes. Hi, Kim. Any help with this? What do you girls think that are watching? Do you like the Petal Pink gems? Put this one down here. Okay, Petal Pink, or do you like the Pretty Peacock? I think the Pretty Peacock, Margaret likes the green. I agree, Margaret. I think we're going to go with that. They're really pretty. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. I'm going to hold them up to see if you can. I'm going to try and get close, but not too close. The camera doesn't really want to focus. But that foiling is shimmery, so they're really pretty. So I'm going to just go ahead and put that one back. Uh-oh, I didn't get my... If you use a tool, like your scissors or your piercing tool, you can usually pick up that little mini glue dot with your gem, but I didn't get it picked up, so let's see. Okay, so that's all right. We're not going to mess with that. Let's get back to these. So I think I'll put one more here. And then maybe one more little one. I think 5. We're going to go with 5 for this card. I try to make triangles. That doesn't seem to be the best right now. Well, let's just actually go up here. And then we've got them grouped. That looks out of place, doesn't it? We're going to take that off. Let's move that. Let's move that here. Okay, I know I'm putzing with this. Let's go on the, okay. Well, you know, it's all good. It's all gems, so we're good with that. But there's our card number 2. Now, this obviously we used the bunny and eggs, but this could be Easter. You could put Easter greeting on the inside, or you could just do the thinking of you. I think I am going to make this an Easter card and send it to my great niece and nephew. They are 3 and 5, and I think they would like the bunny. So we're going to just go ahead and make it an Easter card. Let's go ahead and stamp the inside. Thank you, Arlene. All right, so let's do Happy Easter. Straighten this up. And like so. And then let's, you know, if we're going to decorate the inside, we better at least put... Oh, let's put a bunny on the inside too. And grab another block and this little bunny. And let's make a pink bunny. You can tell I don't have my ink pads out here ready for this because this is kind of on the fly. Petal pink, petal pink, petal pink. Well, we're gonna have let's just have a black bunny. Can't find my petal pink ink pad. I do have another. I'm creating a whole new class. And I've got a lot of my ink pads together with that project. So I took it off of my desk. But that's okay. That's a cute little bunny. So we'll call that our Happy Easter card. So this is my original one. Pretty similar. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and do our third card. Before we do that, though, I do want to show you my classes, my Easter classes. So these, I showed this last week. Today is the last day to register for these classes. So I'll put that link in my, if you're watching on Facebook, I'll put that link in the video description. If you're watching on Facebook, I will put the link either at the top of the video description when I post it or in the comments. Right now I'm going to put it in the comments. Here we go. There we go. So if you're interested, you can sign up for them. So let me make sure I get this all in the video so you can see them. So there's 2 classes. This is the Easter Treats class, and all 5 of these are treat holders. This holds the Reese's Bunny. I made 2 little baskets that you can put any kind of candy in. And then another treat holder that uses the egg. And then this little box I made to fit 4 Rocher candies, or it would fit any kind of candy. And this is, you know, this is kind of a spring. This could be spring if not Easter. But those are 5 treat boxes. With that class, this is called the Excellent Eggs class. So it includes the projects for all, or the products for all of these. It includes products, so you'll get some of the DSP you see here, the dots you see here, the ribbon you see here. You'll get that for $37 unless you want to add the bundle. You can add the bundle with no tax and shipping for $71, and then you get all this plus the bundle plus DSP, ribbon, and dots. Some of that's partial. There's 2 yards of the ribbon. The ribbon comes like this, and then a whole pack of the dots and a whole pack, or a half pack of the paper. And then this is my Easter Lilies class, and these are obviously all cards. And this one is, if you get the bundle with it, it's $82. If you don't get the bundle with it, it's $39 to get all the supplies. Plus you get some of the DSP, you get a bolt of this ribbon, and you get a pack of the blooming pearls with that. And so that's all you get for $39, again, unless you want to add the bundle, which is $82 total. If you want just the PDF option, those are available for $18. So if you go to createwithjoey.com, you will, and then click on classes, you can see there more information and a link to sign up for it. And again, I'm putting the link in the YouTube description, and I'm also putting the link in the comments on Facebook. So there you can find it. Or you can always message me too if you want to just ask me questions or let me know what you want. Okay, our last card. So for this card, this is just going to be a simple little thinking of you card. I wanted to, oh gosh, that's really glaring right there. Hopefully, oh, I guess it's not in the video. I'm seeing it glare on my map, but it's not in the video, I don't think. So move it back a little bit. So we're going to take just our white card base. Hi, Debbie. Oh, Debbie, so nice to have you live. I know you often watch, and I know sometimes you catch the replay, but I'm glad you're here today. Okay, so this is, I did do some of the die cutting ahead of time. For this, what do I want to call it? For this background, I used the perennial postage dies. They've been really fun to use, and I'm going to go back and use that same embossing folder, only this time we're going to use vellum. So let me grab my machine and we'll get this. Actually, before we do that, I just want to get out the machine once. So I'm going to lay this aside for the die cutting machine, and we're going to do a little stamping first. So now I need the big egg, and we need some scrap paper. So let's go ahead and stamp our egg. I'm going to use Memento Black on this guy. Ink it up really well. It helps with bigger stamps to ink them like this, upside down, so to speak. And then I'm going to, let's do it this way. Stamp here. Give it a little bit of pressure. There we go. That's pretty good. Could be a little darker in the middle, but we're going to go with it. Then we're going to do some coloring. Before, not too much. This is not going to take very long. I'm not a big one on a lot of coloring, but this needs a little something, I think. I could have stamped it in a color, but we're just going to give a little bit of, this is Bubble Bath Blends markers. Just going to kind of outline the bunny just to get some pink on my card, since we're using a pink card base. I'm not actually making a straight line around the bunny. I'm kind of coloring in like little strokes in order to give some color, but not actually make just an outline as such. So this doesn't take very long. You can make a lot of these this way. And if you really like to color, you obviously could color the whole background of the bunny. I've seen this card colored like that. Then we're gonna, there are some tiny flowers, so we're gonna go ahead and use Daffodil Delight and fill in those sweet yellow flowers. I think of yellow flowers in the spring. Do you? What do you think of spring flowers? I think of, is it daffodils that comes up early, so early, that are yellow. Yes, isn't that right? Although there are different colors of daffodils too. These flowers are really tiny. I'm not even sure it's going to show up very much on the video. Then I'm going to grab, for my original card, I used Granny Apple Green, but I'm going to use Shaded Spruce, the light Shaded Spruce. We'll see what we like better. And I did that because, why did I do that? I think just because my other cards have that kind of bluish green in them. And all I'm doing is actually just, there's just little grasses here, and I'm just kind of going quickly over the grasses. There's just like little little, how do I say it, little sprigs of grass. Kind of feel like, who's the guy that does the painting, Bob Ross, like little blue clouds or happy little clouds. This is happy little grasses. Okay, there you go. Get that all colored in. Hopefully that green's gonna go okay when you actually look at the card. You'll say, yeah, I think that goes okay, or no, you should have stuck with Granny Apple Green. All right, let's go ahead and die cut. We've got this to die cut, and then, oops, no, we got a bunny. We got to do the bunny. So let's get that guy out here. And again, we're going to go with Memento Black. And then I'm going to, let's do our bunny down here. Okay, then I'm gonna quick clean my stamp, both stamps, so they're not sitting here with ink. Because I put them flat on my desk, I always put them like this rather than like this, and so it's easy to drop a card into it that way, which is not what you want. So normally I keep my ink pads closed most of the time. This bunny, I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm not going to really color him in, but I do want him to have some pink. And then where the concept artist has put little lines and shading, I'm going to go over that with my bunny, like so. Okay? Okay, so now we've got that. Now we can go ahead and do all the die cutting. Let me grab the dies for this little guy. And the egg. So this egg takes the medium, yep, the medium die. Grab the machine. And we'll bring it in here for this guy. And I might grab my Post-it tape. And just to hold this still. This is Post-it tape. I get this on Amazon. It looks like this. It's called 3M labeling and cover-up tape, and it's really great for using for die cutting, so that your dies don't move away from your images. Trying to get in the video here, so just going to go ahead and get this guy going. Our Teddy puppy is now sleeping, and if you were watching earlier, I was saying that he was fussing. So, and I spelled his name because I didn't want him to hear it and wake up. This puppy is so funny though. He will not, he fights going to sleep just like a baby. He doesn't want to lay down and go to sleep. He doesn't want to miss anything. So when he gets tired, he starts fussing. So, you know, at first we didn't know, is he hungry? Is he thirsty? Does he need to go outside? So we'd always go through that whole litany of things that, does he need any of those things? Because we would take care of those things and then still the fussing. So we finally figured out we have to actually put him in his crate. He will, if he gets frustrated or tired enough and his crate's open and his pen, he will go in. Oh, we didn't come back and do our embossing folder. Let's do that. But anyway, he's so funny. He will go in his crate by himself and go to sleep, but sometimes he just fusses until we actually go to his crate and tell him to go home is what we use for a command. Go home, and he goes in and then he goes to sleep. It's pretty funny. Okay, what do I do with the embossing plate? Hang on, let me find it. Things kind of get all discombobulated when I'm when I'm on Facebook. Okay, so here we go. And this is that beautiful embossing folder again that you get with the softly sophisticated bundle. You can get it with a $100 purchase for celebration. As a free item. Okay, this vellum and this embossing folder, they like to stay friends. So I have to get out my, I don't know where my tool is. My take your pick tool has disappeared. So I'm going to take my old piercing tool, and then I kind of gently lift the corner up on this one. Could you hear how much it was sticking in the folder? So just be aware, especially if you do vellum, to take it out pretty gently. Then we're going back to this panel that I die cut with the perennial postage. Let's go ahead and now I am putting adhesive pretty generously on the back of this. I'm not worried that it's going to show, because with the embossing it really doesn't show. And we're going to put it on, this is a bubble bath perennial postage rectangle, like so. Oh, also with your purchase of $40 or more, you get all the cards, get 6 cards, 2 each of the 3 I'm showing today, and you get a PDF tutorial. So you have all the measurements and printed, so that you don't have to come back and look at the video and say, well, how big is this piece? I always like to have written directions. Let's see, let's do dimensionals here. So I like to provide them for my customers. Let's go ahead and put this guy on. And then let's go ahead and peel those off. And we'll go ahead and center this on our card. Then let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. So for this greeting, we used a bunny, but we're going to use the thinking of you greeting. So let me grab a block and get that mounted. Let's go straight on like this. Now we're going to just actually use our memento black for this one. And I'm going to try and get it pretty much maybe slightly to the left, because we're going to put our bunny on this panel. So I'm going to come down here. This one I tend to stamp high. I did get it kind of high, but we're going to go with it. It's okay. It's okay. It's handmade, yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get this guy on here. I'm going to go ahead and just angle the ends of this. This is a 3/4 by possibly 4. I don't know exactly how long I made it, because you can cut it to whatever length you want. Yeah, we're going to go with that. That looks good. And then let's go ahead and, hey, you know what? We have to put our egg on first. Let's get the egg on, people. All right, here we go. Let's get some dimensionals out. And then we'll see what you like better. If you like the light shaded spruce blends marker, or you think I should have stuck with the granny apple green. You could use any green, obviously. Any green. We have so many beautiful greens. I'm going to stick that guy on there. Let's go ahead and get this on. I'm putting the dimensionals way out to the outside so that I don't get a dimensional on the egg. So we're going to come up here so that the bottom of the egg shows. And then we're just going to grab a little bunny. And let's go ahead and use a mini one on his head. And stick this little guy on here. And we'll sit him right there on the edge of that. And then let's just grab some ribbon. This is Bubble Bath ribbon. It comes in a group of ribbon that has 3. So it's got the blue, the azure afternoon, the lemon lolly, and the pink. This is the last I have on this roll. So we're going to go ahead and use a pink ribbon. It matches perfectly, and this card is very Eastery. So I could send it for Easter. I'm not going to put a greeting on the inside of this one, but I do think we'll stamp it a little egg. Let's grab. Now that bow wants to twist. Darn it. So the secret to having a nice bow is when you bring it like this, bring it over like this, and when you push this through like this, you want to keep the back ones, these 2 flat. So I'm pulling it and I'm trying to keep those very flat. And then when you fuss with it, you want to still keep those, keep that ribbon flat the way it goes through the loop. Does that make any sense? Hopefully. And then I like to put my fingers in and kind of puff up the bow a little bit if I can. Okay, we're going to call that good and trim it up a little bit. And for this one, that's my ribbon scissors. I have just a little one that I keep just for ribbon. It was in my mom's sewing kit when she passed away, and it was only used, you know, for thread. She cut it for cutting she used it for cutting small threads. But, so there's our thinking of you. And then we need some gems on this one. I don't know what gems actually I have up here. It looks like I've got a lot of different gems. What about these pastel adhesive backed gems? We could use gold for because we've got yellow on the flowers, or pink. What are you thinking? Yellow or pink? Gold or pink? So here's what pink looks like. Pink is going to blend in pretty well. Or here is what gold looks like. Is gold kind of heavy for spring, do you think? I don't know, what do you think? Gold or pink? Takes a while for the video to catch up so I can see your answers. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with pink. There we go. And let's get, I think that's good. It's shimmery, pretty. Yes, it matches. The gems don't stick out, but they do give it shimmer and blend. So there's our 3 cards. And again, if you use the host code and put in an order of $40 or more, you get all the supplies for all 6 cards. You do need the bundle if you're going to make them like mine. Otherwise, you just need to substitute with something you already have. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Pink. Kinsler watching pink. Okay, good. I picked right for my friends watching. Perfect. Thanks for watching. And thanks for helping me today. I'm so glad I got to be here with you. Oh, thank you for the hearts, you guys. You're the best. I really love being here with you. I hope I've given you some inspiration and some ideas for Easter, even if you don't have these products, that will give you some ideas for what you have at home that you can work with too. Thanks so much for joining me. And next week, we're going to look at some online exclusives coming. They're so fabulous. I can't wait to share them with you. So don't miss next week on Wednesday, 12:30, my Create with Joey page, or I always post my videos on my YouTube channel in the afternoon. So I'll go right from here to post my video, and it'll be there for you to find. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.